Last week, you opened your brokerage account, you took that first step, and I am so proud of you. I'm the darling of Wall Street. Welcome to Wall Street Wednesdays. And today, I'm going to tell you what I would do if I was starting over and investing my first $500. So here's the thing, though, right? I want you to know something. This is not really about the $500. This is about building good habits because you have to build good habits. So let's talk about the difference between being a trader and an investor, right? A trader is someone who some people will trade every day. They're called day traders, right? They'll wake up in the morning, they'll trade off of candlesticks in the first hour or two. Some people will day trade or later on in the day. The point is that they're day trading, right? So they're buying and selling a stock within that same day. Now, there's something called the swing trader. Swing traders are people that'll buy a stock and maybe they're going to hold on to it a little longer, 3 days, 5 days, a week, a month. Those are people that are buying and selling stock. Those are called swing traders. Then there's something called an investor. An investor is someone who buys into a company, a stock, and holds on to it and keeps feeding it and keeps watering it. And that's building a great habit. So that's what I want you to think about today. Remember I told you last week about letting your money just sit there in a bank account or under your pillow or under your mattress? Every year that money loses a little bit of its power because it's sitting there doing nothing, right? But that money invested, that has a chance to keep growing, especially with prices rising over time. That money will grow right past them. So the idea is we're not trying to get rich by Friday, right? What we're trying to do is slowly feed our account and invest, okay? So every week, bi-weekly, monthly, we want to keep putting money in that brokerage account so it can grow. And we want to invest in companies that we understand. Remember I talked to you about that? And that's the habit we're building, right? Putting money and showing up. But I need you to remember that you need to invest in a company that you understand and that you believe in. Because you have to understand the company and you have to believe in that company. You need to be able to explain what that company does. Because once you put that money in there and your money's in the background and it keeps growing and growing and growing while you going off and living your life. And you could put that money on autopilot. But you need to be able to understand the company that you're investing in. Okay? And you need to find your rhythm. Because finding your rhythm is very important, okay? Remember what I said before. So let's say, for instance, now we're building good habits, right? The real question is, okay, what do I buy and how do I keep doing this? And it's really simple. Find your pace and stick to it. So if you know every week you get paid, take a little bit out every week. If you get paid bi-weekly, take a little bit out bi-weekly. Now, remember what I told you last time. Don't spend your rent money, but instead of going, shopping, OD shopping, take a little bit out and invest in your future. Let me tell you something. You know how many shoes I have and purses I have? I don't even wear them. They just sitting there. And I'm like, I will buy a stock in a heartbeat nowadays because I know that's growing. Instead of buying things that I don't even wear and that I won't even use in 5 years from now, never mind 10. And that money in a stock is going to keep growing and growing and growing effortlessly. So whether it's every week, every month, however you're going to do it, just keep showing up and pick your rhythm because the magic is in consistency. And here's the beautiful part. When you invest a little bit on a regular schedule, you stop trying to guess the perfect moment of when to jump in. Because you're just showing up no matter what. And over time, it all smooths itself out. You're just being consistent. And that's the key here. Consistency is key. And that's with anything in life, right? Okay. So now you probably think, well, which one do I buy? What's the right stock? Again, the stock, it doesn't have to be the perfect pick. It just needs to be something that you understand. You understand that company, okay? Like me, I understand technology. I love technology. I love tech companies. I understand the ecosystem. I understand AI. I understand what it runs on, energy, memory, chips. I understand all that. You need to learn that because anybody can tell you what they believe in, but you need to believe in that too. And you need to understand it too. You need to do your own research. It's a way of thinking. And this has to become part of your lifestyle because this is what you want. You want financial freedom. And you want to invest in things that you can get. You don't have to worry about your money. You know your money's good. You can sleep at night. Like people know I love Micron, right? But now Micron is so high. So we need to look for things that are not up 1,000% already. Now, do I still believe that there's room for memory to grow? Absolutely. They're sold out, right? They're sold out for years. But here's the thing. Maybe you get in the ETF because DRAM holds the memory stocks inside of them. That's a great place to start. And I will get into the ETFs too, because that's a whole nother episode even, right? But here's what I want to do. I want to do a Zoom call with you guys so I can answer your questions because I know you're like, well, which stock do I pick? I want to break that down with you. I want to be able to answer your questions. So I'm going to do a live Zoom call with you guys. And I'm going to do that next week. So with that being said, I'm the darling of Wall Street. And remember, you don't have to be perfect to build wealth. You just have to keep showing up. And I'll see you next Wednesday. And if this helps you, please like and subscribe and share it with someone. Okay, I'll see you next week. Bye.